That night, there were no spotlights, no luxury stage, no screaming fans. Just a small market stall, the smell of fresh pancakes, and one quiet moment that would change how Liu Yuning saw Zhao Lusi forever. In an industry obsessed with perfection, where every smile is curated and every gesture rehearsed, there are moments so raw, so human, they cut through fame like a sharp breath in the dark. Zhao Lusi had already become a household name, a beloved face in dramas, a symbol of youth, warmth, and effortless charm. But on that night, she wasn't an actress. She wasn't a star. She stood behind a simple pancake stall at a night market. Hands busy, sleeves rolled, focused on flipping batter, counting change, and greeting strangers with an unfiltered smile. No script, no retakes, no protection of image. And somewhere nearby, Liu Yuning watched, not as a celebrity, not as a performer, but as a man who understood struggle. Because before fame found him, he had lived a life built on endurance, on surviving unnoticed, on working through nights when dreams felt painfully distant. What he saw that evening wasn't a cute publicity moment. It was something far more dangerous to the heart. Authenticity. And once you recognize it, you can never unsee it. Transition. But what exactly happened at that night market? And why did this simple scene leave such a deep emotional mark on Liu Yuning? The night market wasn't glamorous. It was loud, crowded, chaotic. The kind of place where life happens unscripted. Zhao Lusi didn't act embarrassed. She didn't hesitate. She didn't distance herself from the messiness of real life. She laughed when customers joked. She apologized sincerely when orders took longer. She listened, truly listened, to people who had nothing to give her except a moment of shared humanity. Her movements were clumsy at times. Her hands dusted with flour. Her voice slightly hoarse from repeating orders. And yet, she looked alive. For Liu Yuning, this wasn't entertainment. It was recognition. He saw someone who didn't hide behind fame. Someone who respected labor. Someone who didn't see ordinary people as a backdrop, but as equals. This mattered deeply to him, because Liu Yuning's own journey was never smooth. He sang in streets. He performed without guarantees. He learned early that dignity is earned, not granted by status. Watching Zhao Lusi treat a humble task with full sincerity triggered something personal. It wasn't attraction born from beauty. It was connection born from values. And that realization landed quietly, but with irreversible weight. Transition. Yet the real reason this moment stayed with Liu Yuning goes even deeper than respect. Some moments don't announce themselves. They don't arrive with music cues or dramatic pauses. They simply settle into the heart, quietly, permanently. For Liu Yuning, that night market scene did exactly that. As he watched Zhao Lusi work behind the pancake stall, something deeper than admiration began to surface. It wasn't about what she was doing, but how she was doing it. There was no rush to look perfect. No attempt to appear cute for the camera. No distance between herself and the people in front of her. She was fully present. And presence, for someone like Liu Yuning, is powerful. Because his own journey had taught him how rare genuine presence truly is. Before recognition found him, he knew what it meant to be overlooked. To perform without applause. To give effort without guarantee of reward. In Zhao Lusi's calm focus, he recognized a familiar emotional language. One spoken only by those who have truly struggled. And chosen kindness anyway. That recognition doesn't feel exciting. It feels grounding. And grounding emotions tend to last longer than passion. This wasn't the kind of moment that sparks headlines. It was the kind that reshapes perspective. Transition. But what made this moment impossible to forget was not just emotion. It was its absolute irreproducibility. What gives this story its weight is that it happened without intention. Zhao Lusi didn't know she was leaving an emotional imprint. She wasn't trying to prove anything. She wasn't performing humility. She was simply being herself. And that authenticity can never be manufactured twice. For Liu Yuning, this was not an image filtered through media narratives. It was a direct encounter with character. In an industry built on transformation, where personas are constantly adjusted, seeing someone remain unchanged, even briefly, can feel disarming. That night market had no hierarchy, no titles, no invisible walls between celebrity and ordinary life. Just human interaction. And that is why the memory stayed with him. Because moments like that do not demand attention. They command respect. They don't shout. They linger, transition, and perhaps that is why this story continues to resonate. Long after the night itself passed, this story endures, not because of speculation, not because of fantasy, but because of emotional truth. People connect to this moment because it reflects something deeply human, the desire to be seen for who we are, when nothing is expected of us. Zhao Lusi's quiet sincerity and Liu Yuning's silent recognition represent a rare intersection of values. In a world obsessed with appearances, no declarations were made, no narratives were forced, just a moment of mutual humanity. And sometimes, that is more powerful than any confirmed story. If this moment moved you, it's not because of celebrity status. It's because somewhere in your own life, you've experienced a moment where authenticity changed everything. And those moments, no matter how small, are never forgotten.